this could be the one. This could be the dream job. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to share with you guys a story time about a mistake that I made when I started my job search as an international student. Before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, share with your friends and family, join the family because I promise you won't regret it. Let's go. I had just started, searching for internships, and I just gotten into hang of things, how job search works here and everything, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, started going for conferences. I think that was actually my first NSB conference, yeah. So this happened at NSB. Prior to NSB, I had gotten, because I applied for jobs before going for that NSB conference. So I got an email from United saying, oh, that they're interested in interviewing me and, for the position of, I think it was a manufacturing engineer or something, but basically an engineer that was working with planes and all of that. So I was super excited because I like planes. So I was like, this could be the one. This could be the dream job. My dear, let's continue. So, I got an email saying they would like to interview me at the conference and all of that. So I was like, yeah, sure. I booked my interview date and time and all of that. So when I got to the conference, went for my interview, had a wonderful interview with the interviewer. That was actually one of my best interviews. That interview even lasted for like 45 minutes long. When your interview lasts for 45 minutes long, you know that these people are liking you and there's hope there. There's hope that this may possibly go somewhere. I had a very good rapport with the interviewer. I answered all the questions correctly. I made the interview more like a conversation than a question and answer session. So, we had a good flow. We talked about different things, and he basically told me what I'm going to be doing on the job and everything. Basically, this man was ready to hire me on the spot. After the interview, I asked for feedback and everything. And said I did excellently well, that I'll definitely be hearing back from them, as regards next steps and all of that. So on my mind, I'm like, hey, baby girl has gotten her job. I didn't know my village people were at work. So to cut a long story short, I basically had a good interview. I was so certain that I was going to get this job. It was actually for an internship position, so it wasn't like a full-time position. So, but I was so certain that I was going to get it, and I was so happy because I've always wanted to work in aviation. I was so happy and everything. So I got back from the conference and I was expectantly waiting for their call or their email or something. I was waiting to hear back from them. I followed up with the interview after my interview to make sure, everything is okay, and everything was good and everything. So I was just waiting to hear back from them as regards next step, onboarding, all that good stuff. And then a few days later they called me. The woman on the phone was like, oh, am I speaking with Prevailer? And I'm like, yeah, hi. She has introduced herself and everything. Basically she said she wanted to ask me some questions before they move on in the process and all of that. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. And so, questions like location preferences and stuff like that. They asked me questions and then they asked me the dreaded question. The dreaded question that every international student doesn't want to hear. She now asked me, the question was, do you need sponsorship now or in the future? At the back of my mind, I'm like, well, technically I don't need sponsorship because it's an internship. I don't need a sponsorship for internship. But then again, companies, when they're hiring for internship, they're always looking at it long term. So if they're hiring for internship, they want to make sure that they're able to hire you back for full time if they really like you. Basically, yeah, if they're not willing to sponsor you for full time, they wouldn't want to take you on during internship. Some companies are, kind enough to give you an internship experience, but they may not necessarily call you back for full time, even if you did a good job. They're not obligated to anyway. United was not willing to, file for me full time, so they were not willing to take me on for an internship. When she asked that question, literally my heart sank. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't even know what I was expecting. But normally as an international student, I would advise to, just get it out of the way at the beginning, to just tell them that you're an international student and that you need sponsorship, later in the future if this is for an internship. And if they're willing to go through with that. Some companies are willing to, some are not. That's the mistake I made. This is not a video to like bash United or anything. It's just I had a wonderful experience with them. I had a wonderful experience with my interviewer. There were other people there, even from the woman that booked my interview to the person I interviewed with and the person I spoke on the phone with after the interview. Like, all of them were super nice and helpful and everything, but they just were not willing to file. That's okay. Not every company has to file, and I wish more companies would, but point is they're not obligated to. Enough of my rambling. That was the mistake I made. I didn't clear it with them from the beginning, like before I got invested in this whole shenanigans process. I didn't clear it with them that I am an international student and that I would need sponsorship later in the future. That's something I'll advise to do when you start interviewing with companies. Just, let them know and get it out of the way that you're an international student and that you may need sponsorship. Some people recommend like letting the company like you first and then they may file for you, but that doesn't always work. As with this case, the company liked me, they were willing to hire me, but they were not willing to file. It's not every company that is willing to file, even if they like you and they really want you to come on board. It's not every company that has the capacity to, maybe not have the capacity to, I believe a company like United has the capacity to, but maybe it's just not something they're willing to do. That's just something I really wanted to share with you guys, because I know a lot of people who say, oh, don't tell them you're an international student first and let them like you, and they may file for you when they see that they really want you on board and whatnot. But that doesn't always happen. That is not always the case. For me, I would say clear it out with them first, so you don't waste your time and energy and invest yourself into that whole process, and then at the end of the day you could just get a rejection simply because they don't want to file, not even because you're not a good candidate, but because they don't want to file. Instead of putting yourself through all of that stress, that emotional, mental stress, just clear it with them in the beginning that you're an international student and you may need sponsorship in the future. Another mistake I made was that there are some companies that we know that from now to tomorrow they're not willing to file, they're not willing to sponsor. I don't believe I did that research before going for that interview. I'm not sure if I did, but if I did, then that was like a huge mistake on my part to still even continue with that whole process. Some people say just try, you don't know, but there are some as an international student, you should know like there are some companies that they don't, like, from now till fact, even if Jesus should come down, they will not file. There's no need wasting your time trying with them. Even if you get an interview with them, there's no need wasting your time. Or even if you get an interview with them, instead of just ghosting them, just let them know upfront that you're an international student. So that would just tell them, oh, okay, this is not our spec. I don't know if United files, like if there's some roles, specific roles, maybe more experienced roles that they file for. I'm not sure. If you're interested in United, you would have to do that research for yourself. I don't think they take internationals for like internships and whatnot. I'm not sure if they also file for entry-level roles. So you would also have to do that research and find out for yourself. Overall, I think United is actually a nice company. I even met with one of their senior execs when I went for a TMCF conference, and he was super nice. I emailed him about the situation and he replied me back telling me the reason and whatnot. But they were all super nice and helpful, and I think it's a great company to work for if you're a citizen or permanent resident. That is all I have for you guys today. So thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next one. Have a good one and stay safe.